Welcome to Study Buddy Homeschooling. In today's session, we'll be seeing CBSE Class 10 English Glimpses of India, second chapter, Coorg by Lokesh Abrol. Now let's go into the chapter Coorg by Lokesh Abrol. Coorg is coffee country, famous for its rainforests and spices. So Coorg is a place located in Karnataka, the southern part of Karnataka. It's a hill station. It's about 5 hours drive from Bangalore. Let's go into the story written by Lokesh Abrol. Midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore sits a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. So author says that this Coorg is located midway, that is halfway between Mysore and Mangalore. He says this Coorg would have drifted from the kingdom of God. This land of rolling hills is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. So he says Coorg is rolling hills. It's a chain of mountains inhabited by a proud race, group of people of martial men. Martial refers to being in army, being a warrior community. So these people who are from Coorg, the native of Coorg, are of martial community. So he says Coorg has martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. Coorg or Kodagu, the smallest district of Karnataka, is home to evergreen forests, spices and coffee plantations. You can look at the picture of Coorg here. It is located in the southern part of Karnataka, which is composed of series of beautiful hills. It has several rainforests because this area receives abundant rainfall. It has beautiful creatures seen around. Coorg is also famous for its beautiful coffee plantations that is seen throughout the district. So the author says Coorg is famous for evergreen forests, spices and coffee plantations. Evergreen forests cover 30% of the district. So 30% of the district, Coorg or Kodagu district, is covered by evergreen forest. So you could imagine how green and beautiful the place would be. During the monsoons, that is the rainy seasons, it pours enough to keep many visitors away. So during the monsoon season, that is from June to September in Karnataka, it pours heavily so that it keeps many visitors away. Many visitors do not want to come during the rainy season because it's a hill station, again slippery, road blockage, all will happen. So many visitors do not want to visit during the monsoons because of the heavy rainfall. Because of the heavy rainfall only you can see the evergreen forest also. The season of joy commences from September and continues till March. So from September till March only you will see maximum tourists because there are no rains and people can really enjoy the beautiful weather, hill station and the beautiful animals that are seen around in Coorg. The weather is perfect with some showers thrown in for good measure. So the weather is so good with occasional showers during the time. The air breathes of invigorating coffee. So since there are too many plantations, coffee plantations around, you can really smell the flowers, coffee flowers, smell of the coffee flowers. Coffee estates and colonial bungalows stand tucked under tree canopies in prime corners. So you can see coffee estates as well as colonial bungalows. Lots of bungalows, since Britishers were also present there, lots of colonial bungalows also are seen. Stand tucked under tree canopies. So there are huge canopies. What do you mean by canopies? There are tall trees and the top of the tree cover acts as a roof. Roof-like coverings that form shelters. So these canopies are formed only by extremely tall trees, woody plants. The fiercely independent people of Coorg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. So the author says that the people of Coorg, who are known as Kodavas, are of Greek or Arabic descent. They must have originated from Greek or Arabic. As one story goes, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here when return became impractical. So one theory goes about saying that the people of Coorg, probably of Greek origin, when Alexander's army came to India and they moved till the south, and there came a point where it was impossible for them to return back, hence they settled down. This is one theory which says that people are from Greek origin as they had come from the Alexander's army. These people married amongst the locals and their culture is apparent in the martial traditions, marriage and the religious rites which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. So here this shows that people who were part of Alexander's army, they settled down in Coorg, they mixed with the local people there and they formed a culture which is distinct from the Hindu culture which is the mainstream. The theory of Arab origin, we saw the Greek origin where Alexander's army settled down because they could not go back and hence mixed with the local people and married. And there's a second theory about their origin from Arab. The theory of Arab origin draws support from a long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodavas known as kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So you can see the picture here, the Kodava people. You can see they have a long dress and it seems to be similar to the dresses worn by Arabs and the Kurds. Kurds are people of Iranian origin and they are seen in Syria, Iraq also, and they are of Islamic belief. So since the dress is similar to the dress worn by Arabs, so there is another theory which says that probably these people, Kodavas, are also from Arabic origin. So now there are two theories here. One is of Greek origin. When Alexander came with his army, the people settled down and married the localites and formed a community. The second is of Arabic origin because of the dress which is worn by them, which is known as kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So let's move to the next stanza. Coorgi homes have a tradition of hospitality. Hospitality means being kind, being polite, and they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor related to their sons and fathers. So we discussed it's a martial community. They are a warrior community. So they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor. Valor means courage. So they have so much stories of courage to talk to their sons. The Core Regiment, it's a very famous regiment in the Indian Army. The Coorg Regiment is one of the most decorated in the Indian Army, and the first chief of the Indian Army, General Kariyappa, was a Coorgi. So you'll have to remember that General Kariyappa was a Coorgi, and the Coorg Regiment is one of the most famous regiments in the Indian Army because of their martial connections. They are a warrior community. Even now, Kodavus, this is Kodavus or Kodavas. Kodavas are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without any license. So even now, Kodava people are the people who have the right to hold guns without any license because they belong to the warrior community. The river Kaveri obtains its water from hills and the forests of Coorg. So the river Kaveri has its origins from Coorg. It is also known as Talakaveri, from where the river Kaveri originates, and people worship the place very sacredly. Mahasir, a large freshwater fish, abound in this water. So this Mahasir is present abundantly in the Kaveri waters in Coorg. Kingfishers dive for their catch. So you can see so many kingfishers diving to catch them. While squirrels and langurs drop partially eaten fruit for the mischief of enjoying the splash and ripple effect in the clear water. So there is so much of abundance of fruits that squirrels and langurs drop partially eaten fruit, so that they, as soon as they drop the fruit, the ripple effect it creates in the water, the commotion it creates in the water, these animals are enjoying. So everything is in abundance there. Fruits are in abundance. Animals are in abundance there. The most laid back individuals become converts to the life of high energy adventure with river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, and mountain biking. So there are so many activities which are happening, which have been designed for the tourists, like river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing. You can see here it's canoeing. This is all permitted in the river waters of Coorg. Next you have what is known as rappelling. Rappelling refers to climbing down the mountains using a rope. All these adventure activities are present in Coorg, are provided to the tourists. So there is canoeing, river rafting. Rafting is like boating, which happens with group of men who can go around boating. Canoeing, rappelling, that is mountain descending, rock climbing, and even mountain biking. All these activities are available for the tourists. Numerous walking trails in this region are a favorite with trekkers. So people love the hills. People who come from the cities, especially Bangalore and Mangalore, they just want to go there and enjoy their weekends and vacation, enjoying the walking. And it's famous for the with the trekkers. The numerous walking trails in the region are a favorite with trekkers. Trekkers are the one who climb through the hills by walking. So what are trails? Path created by walking. So as numerous trekkers, too many people are walking, they create the path in the hills. Birds, bees and butterflies are there to give you company. Since it's a 30% of Coorg is by rainforest, you can see lots of animals there, insects there. So birds, bees and butterflies are there. Too many you can find them. Macaques, like monkeys, Malabar squirrels, langurs and slender loris keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. So it's very common to see these animals there. Macaques, it's like a monkey. Malabar squirrels, langurs and slender loris. So this place has abundance of animals also, wild animals also. I do, however, prefer to step aside for wild animals. He says, I prefer to step aside for wild animals because I'm literally wary. He's scared because he wants to stay away from the wild animals. The climb to the Brahmagiri hills brings you into a panoramic view of the entire misty landscape of Coorg. Panoramic refers to a wider view, a view of the wide area of the land. It's like standing on the top and watching the entire Coorg. So from Brahmagiri Hills, if someone stands there on Brahmagiri Hills, you can see the entire Coorg. A walk across the rope bridge leads to a 64-acre island of Nisargadama. So there's this 64-acre island of Nisargadama. Running into Buddhist monks from India's largest Tibetan settlement at nearby Bailakuppe is a bonus. So there is a huge Tibetan settlement there. There is a beautiful golden temple also being constructed by the Tibetans there. The monks in red, ochre and yellow robes are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by the visitors searching for the heart and soul of India right here in Coorg. So here in Coorg, there is a place known as Nisargadama, and nearby it there is a Buddhist monks, the Tibetan settlement. There is a golden temple also there nearby, which is in a place known as Baile Kuppe. So these you can see the monks in different colored robes there, and you can see the monks of the Tibetan origin having their presence in the Coorg, which is in the southern part of Karnataka. This shows about the diversity of India. Fact file. How to reach? So how to reach Coorg? Madikeri. Madikeri is the district headquarters is the only gateway to Coorg. So only if you enter Madikeri will you be able to enter Coorg. The misty hills, lush forests and coffee plantations will cast a spell on you. It will keep you spellbound. You'll be so stunned by the beautiful hills, the forests and the coffee plantations. Find a resort, coffee estate or stay in a home for truly Coorgi experience. So there are lots of beautiful resorts, homestays available amidst the coffee plantations and coffee estates. So it's such a beautiful experience to stay there and enjoy Coorg beauty. How do we reach by air? Their nearest airports are Mangalore. So from Mangalore it's 135 kilometer. Bangalore it's 260 kilometer. There are flights to Mangalore from Mumbai and to Bangalore from Ahmedabad, Chennai, Delhi, Goa, Hyderabad, Kochi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Pune. So you can either go from Mangalore or Bangalore. So you have lots of flight connections. By rail, the nearest railroads are at Mysore, Mangalore and Hassan. So if you have to go by rail, the nearest places Mysore, Mangalore and Hassan. By road, there are two routes to Coorg from Bangalore. Both are almost the same distance. There are two routes from Bangalore. It's more or less the same distance only, 250 to 260 kilometer. One route is via Mysore. The other route is via Neelamangala, Kunigal and Chennaraya Patnam. So now let's move to the questions. Where is Coorg? Coorg is located in Karnataka between Mangalore and Mysore. It's about 250 to 260 kilometers from Bangalore. It's a 5-hour drive from Bangalore. Second question. What is the story about Kodava people's descent? So these Kodava people, there are two theories. One is of Greek descent. When Alexander's army came into India and they moved into southern part of India, they reached Coorg and they, for some reason they could not go back again and they settled there and they mixed with the local people and they formed their own unique culture. And second is about the Arab descent. This Arab descent is confirmed by the kind of dress they wear, which is very similar to the Arab people and what Kurds wear. Now let's move to the third question. What are some of the things you now know about the people of Coorg? The people of Coorg, they are also known as Kodavas. They are a warrior community. They are very hospitable and there is theories about their Greek origin and Arabic origin. The main crop of Coorg, coffee is a main crop which is grown in Coorg. Third one, the sports it offers to tourists. It offers several sports like canoeing, raffling, mountain climbing, mountain biking, nature walking, etc. Fourth question, the animals you are likely to see in Coorg. Malabar squirrels, macaques, loris. These are the animals you can commonly see in Coorg. Its distance from Bangalore and how to get there. It's about 250 to 260 kilometers from Bangalore and there are two routes you can go. One is via Mysore and the other via Neelamangala, Chennarayapattam. We'll move to the next question. Here are six sentences with some words in italics. Find phrases from the text that have the same meaning. During monsoons, it rains so heavily that tourists do not visit Coorg. So you'll have to find meanings which are equivalent to the one in italics. That is, the tourists do not visit. So the answer is keep many visitors away. It's there in the para 2. Second question. Some people say that Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled there. Some people say. So what is found in para 3 is as one story goes. Third, the Coorg people are always ready to tell stories of their sons and fathers' valor. Valor is courage. So are always ready to tell stories. So equivalent word for this is more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor. Fourth question. Even people who normally lead an easy and slow life get smitten by the high energy adventure sports of Coorg. Even people who normally lead an easy and slow life get smitten. The most laid back individuals. The theory of Arab origin is supported by the long coat with embroidered waist belt they wear. Is supported. Draws support. Macaques, Malabar squirrels observe you carefully from the tree canopy. It's from the para 7. Keep a watchful eye. Thinking about language, collocations. What are collocations? Certain words go together. Such word friends are known as collocations. The collocation of a word is a company it keeps. Like teacup is a word, it's a collocation. Two words should go hand in hand. It is known as collocation. For example, look at the paired sentences and phrases below. Which is a common collocation and which one is odd? Strike out the odd sentence or phrase. How old are you? How young are you? So how old are you is correct. How young are you? We don't ask that question. Yes? So it's wrong. Second, a pleasant person. A pleasant person is correct. A pleasant pillow, we don't use a pleasant pillow. So here are some nouns from the text. Culture, monks, surprise, experience, weather, tradition. Work with a partner and discuss which of the nouns can collocate with which of the adjectives given below. The first one has been done for you. So here you have example which is given here. Culture, you can use unique culture, ancient culture. Similarly for monks, you can use serious monks, ancient monks. Surprise, you can use unforgettable surprise, sudden surprise. It could be a terrible surprise. Yes. Experience, it could be unforgettable experience. It was a terrible experience. It was a unique experience. You could use all these adjectives. Weather, it could be terrible weather. It could be unforgettable weather. Yes. And for tradition, it could be unique tradition. It's an ancient tradition. We'll move to the next part of the question. Complete the following phrases from the text. For each phrase, can you find at least one other word that would fit into the blank? So, tales of courage, tales of valor. Valor is given in your textbook. So, valor is courage. Tales of courage you can use. Second one, coastal belt, coastal cities, coastal towns. You could use any of them. A piece of cloth, a piece of cake, a piece of chalk. All this you could use. Evergreen forests, evergreen trees. Fifth one, dash plantations. Coffee plantations, banana plantation, tea plantations. Sixth one, dash bridge. Iron bridge, bamboo bridge, wooden bridge, rope bridge. Seventh one, wild animals, wild creatures, wild birds. You could use any of this. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you have any doubts, please leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.